Ankles this morning, target mobility ankles. It's a very important area that we need to work on. The amount of times I'm saying to people, get your ankles loosened off, get your ankle mobility done. People don't realise the importance of ankles, especially when it comes to movements such as squats, okay? It affects everything. So I'm going to show you quickly the importance of your ankle when you're moving through a squat, for example, and then we're going to get stuck into it, and it's pretty simple. We're only doing two things this morning. We're going to foam roll the hell out our ankles around the area calves, and then we're going to start doing some stretching with them as well. Pretty basic, pretty simple. It's something that you can condense into 5 minutes of your day. Of course, this is a mobility class, so we'll be spending quality time on it, but it doesn't mean to say that every time you do your ankles, it has to be a 30-minute session. It could be 2 minutes on each leg, and you're going to get a big difference, okay? So again, we look at the ankle joint here. If you actually look at the ankle itself when I'm squatting, as I'm squatting down to depth, that ankle has to be able to move freely to allow my knee to bend. So as I'm squatting down, if I get to a point in which my ankle's restricted, I can't move it anymore, a couple of things can happen. My heels start to lift off the ground and I start to fall forwards, and that puts horrible strain on my knee here, okay? Or I try to keep my heels down, I can't bend my ankle anymore, so then I complete the squat by going like this. Okay, how many times do you see people doing squats like this? I see it every Wednesday and Sunday, okay, for a matter of fact. And it's because people can't bend their ankle. They can't bend their ankle into that position, okay? So it's a huge thing, and the easiest test you can do to see if you need to improve your ankles is squat. Squat with your elevated heel. So elevate your heel on a couple of books or whatever you've got lying about the house. If you can hit considerably better depth, then you've definitely got a bit of work to do. But either way, you've got work to do. Trust me, everybody needs to work on their ankles. So it's an important one this morning. So get your foam roller, we're getting straight into it. And if you have been following along with this stuff for a wee while, it's going to be pretty familiar. There's nothing really new this morning. It's basics, because that's all we need. So I want you to get the foam roller, and you're positioning that foam roller pretty much just at the top of your heel. Okay, we don't really want it on the tendon as much, so we don't really want it bang on the Achilles. Now, beginners, as in people who haven't done much of this, or your ankles are, all that tissue's all tied up tight, you're going to get quite a high level of discomfort without having to put much pressure on here. Now remember, the more pain and discomfort you can suffer on this, the more you're going to get out of it, okay? So it's pretty horrible, and like I keep saying, the pain should be, you know, isolated in the area that we're working. Shouldn't be getting shooting pains up, shouldn't be getting numbness or pins and needles or anything like that. It should be pretty isolated kind of pain and discomfort. So straight away, beginners, you won't really need to do much other than just rest and push your leg down on there, but there's no beginners here. So I want you to get your other leg, whack it on top, and that's going to help push it down. You can see what I'm doing there now. To get more weight on it, you can bridge up, so you can get your butt off the floor using your arms. But make sure, with the high level of discomfort you're probably going to start feeling pretty soon, that you keep the muscle relaxed, okay? You want to imagine those little grooves and bumps on the foam roller are sinking into the muscle tissue. It's no use you being up there pushing down hard, but because it's so uncomfortable, the whole muscle group's tensed up hard to try and fight it, okay? It has to be completely relaxed, okay? So it's a good idea to break yourself in gently. So I'm starting at the bottom, and now all I'm doing is a simple system of side to side. And this is where people go wrong with these foam rollers. You just roll up and down and you go, oh, that feels good. Oh, yep, I must be really, no, you're not. You're completely wasting your time. Okay, so get going. Side to side, and again, it's a personal thing. I won't lie to you. That's horrendous right there. Okay, so I've found my first pain spot, pressure spot as I usually call it. So I've found my first pressure spot. Okay, so straight away I've found one. You might have to continue, so I'll show you basically, speed up what I'm doing. Side to side, 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 all the way up. But you get to a painful spot and you probably don't have to go far because I'm on one already. You stay on that spot. Okay, so remember, it's probably going to take us about half an hour per leg if we're really going to do it properly. So that's why we focus on the first pain spot and we don't move on until we feel an improvement on that area, okay, as in less pain. So I've got a pressure spot, so the first thing I do, I should really be getting the answers off people on live because it's the same principle for wherever we go on these things. You're trying to put pressure on. I'm trying to get as much weight on there as I can. Rock back and forward ever so slightly, making sure you're staying on that center, okay? Ground zero, if you like, of the pain. And then what I can do is various techniques. I can contract the muscle, relax the muscle. Contract it, relax it, okay? And that's like a pulsating, you'll feel it, and then when you relax it, you'll sink into the foam roller more. Pain sweats are already starting. Why did I decide to do this with a jumper on? Okay, pain makes you warm, everybody, as you're about to experience. Make sure, I'm seeing some very half-arsed looking faces. Yep, these kind of faces. Shouldn't be getting that, okay? You should have your concentrate and try not to focus too much on the pain, but try and inflict as much pain on yourself as you can face, right? Okay, now what I can do to try and smash it up even more, because again, all I'm trying to do is break up that horrible tissue, is I can start while holding that pressure spot, and this is the one that's probably going to really start breaking the beads of sweat out in your forehead, is start moving the foot. Point the toes, bring the toes up. Rotate the ankle round, okay? There's no right or wrong. You're on that spot, it's horrendous. You don't move from that spot until you feel improvement. So use those 3 techniques that I'm teaching you, okay? This smashing one, the pressure, pushing on, side to side, rocking on the spot that's sore, and contract and relax. Once you feel an improvement, then you move on. This is where people go wrong. They try to just race and do the whole thing. We're trying to spend quality time on an area to get improvement on it, okay? And then I'm going side to side, slowly working my way up the leg again, lower leg. And again, for me, I don't have to go far. And I do this stuff regular. I don't have to go far, yep, until I get to another spot. Okay, so that's me on another one. So what do? Same again, it's no rocket science, because we've been doing it in multiple areas now around the body. Same techniques, get the pressure on it. Okay, and again, this is all we're doing today. We're foam rolling it using this technique on both legs. Okay, so it's very basic. So please have the discipline, make the most of your time here. Because for many of us, this is the only time we'll actually spend proper time and quality time on it. Most of us probably won't do any of this again. But like I say, it doesn't have to be half an hour. So let's say, yep, I only had 2 minutes. 2 minutes per leg. I would say that's definitely been 2 minutes. So I'd bookmark it. I think, right, I got up to that point. So then tomorrow I'm going to do it for a couple of minutes each leg. I'm going to continue where I left off. Again, the reason being, people will just aimlessly roll backwards and forwards, feeling like they're doing something because it will feel uncomfortable. But they're not spending quality time trying to break up the problem areas, okay? So again, I'm talking to you like I'm not doing anything, but this is horrendous. It's quite a good distraction. So you're all muted if you're on live. Feel free to talk away to yourself or sing a happy song. So now I'm really putting the pressure down on this foam roller, and you can see that I'm rotating the foot round, and that is just taking it to another level. Yep. As I say, try to not have a pain face, okay? Yep, it's very uncomfortable. It's horrendous. But try to stay relaxed. Okay, so now I'm just slowly working my way up. And again, see, for most of us, you're going to find a lot of the problem areas down towards the lower third of your lower leg, around the ankle area, okay? And then you'll probably find plenty of it when you start to hit that meaty calf muscle. Okay, and like I say, this stuff makes you hot. It doesn't take long when you're in pain. You could be in a freezing, this is one way to heat yourself up. You ever find yourself freezing and complaining you're freezing? Get your foam roller out. It'll soon heat you up. So again, it's quality time we're spending on this morning. So please, take the time, spend the quality time, because this is what we're needing. Okay, like I say, mobility, flexibility, 2 different things. And it's not always a case of just lack of flexibility, okay? It's not always the muscle itself that's restricted. It can be the joint, so that's where mobility comes into it. But again, ankles, they get seized up so bad. Again, people don't look after them. They pound the streets running, a very limited range of movement they're working through. It seizes up, all that tissue just gets knotted up tight. It doesn't flow freely. And it just takes a bit more, i.e. this, to try and break it all back up and try and let it all glide smoothly. Okay, so like I say, make no mistake, this is very uncomfortable, and I hope you're not just sitting at home on your foam roller, just giving it, nah, it's quite uncomfortable, but yeah, it's all right. It's down to you to really go for this, okay? And you'll realise that you really kind of have to inflict quite a high level of pain and discomfort on yourself to get the benefit out of this, okay? It's really about, you do get out what you put in with this stuff, okay? The more you suffer with it, a bit like fitness. the more you're going to get from it to some degree. But with this, definitely, because it's so easy. It's so easy just to do this like I'm doing now and think, well, that's quite sore. Oh. And then the last thing you want to think about is putting weight on it and making it worse. Okay? So we're only going to spend another minute on this side and then we're going to move on, everyone. Like I say, quality time on an area. Fix one problem before you try and tackle the next, okay? So rather than just spread yourself thin, focus on trying to improve an area. And if it's that bad, don't think that this one mobility class is going to fix your ankles, okay? It needs to be part of your routine. Most people, I've not really met anyone that's come through my doors that don't need some form of ankle mobility work doing, okay? We could all benefit from it, and it's the one thing, like I say, if you're struggling to hit depth in your squat, I'm pretty confident to say it's probably your ankles, okay? Sometimes the groin, obviously injuries, etc., or just bad squat mechanics, as in you've never squatted before and you don't know how to squat. But for most people, the lack of depth is the ankles. And like I say, the easiest test, stop rolling backwards and forwards with these foam rollers. I'm seeing some relaxed faces. Get in the zone, okay? Right, relax there. Okay, I want you to stand up, because all we're going to do is change legs. I want you to stand up and just let the blood flow back into it. And again, just from doing that, everybody, try a few squats. Try wiggling side to side. You should feel, even if your ankle mobility is good, because like I say, I would say I've got decent ankle mobility. I keep on top of it. I know the importance of it. You should be able to feel that one's already just a lot freer compared to the other one. So this side's feeling pretty stiff. This side's feeling pretty loose. And again, that's not me trying to sell it. If you've just spent a quality 5 minutes like you just have foam rolling your ankles, you should feel a difference, okay? You should feel a difference. Don't expect it to be a huge difference. It might be, but you should definitely feel a difference. That should just feel like it's freed it up a little bit. Shouldn't feel as restricted. But again, that just depends on how tight everything was in the first place. So let's change legs, everybody. Change legs. So now you know what you're doing. Now, everybody's foam roller is different, but we're trying to use these grooves on the foam roller to our advantage. That's the thing that we're trying to get jammed in there to break it all up, okay? So don't just put your ankle in that little valley. So if you've got one like mine that's got little valleys, don't just put it in the valley because you know it's going to be comfortable. Get on the peak, okay? Get it jammed in there. Other people, yours will be better in the sense that you can't have a valley. They've deliberately done it alternating. So, yes. Anyway, I'm on it. Pretty simple what I'm trying to do here, okay? You can see me. Well, I hope you can see me. And all I'm doing is starting at the bottom, just above the heel, okay? Just a wee bit up from the heel. You don't want to be on the tendon, and again, get a feel for it. You can warm yourself into it a wee bit, get a feel for, right, okay, there's a few pressure spots there. I'm going to have to work on that one. Okay, so I've not put the weight on it yet. Now I am. Okay, I'm going to get the weight, get the leg across. And again, remember with putting weight on it, you can see my butt's still on the floor here. If I just bridge up and put all my weight on that right now, that's too much, okay? And when I say too much, I mean the pain's too much, the discomfort's too much, so what will happen is you won't relax and you'll find it hard to relax, okay? So that's what I mean by you're continually trying to add more and more weight to it. Okay, and again, while staying on ground zero, if you like, where the pain's the worst, you can still rock back and forward, try to break it up, okay? Don't rock too far back and forward. You don't want to be coming off and on of it, okay? But we can try and just imagine it's somebody's elbow in there, okay? You're getting a deep tissue massage, because that's basically what we're doing here. Now I'm getting the weight up on it. So there's no right or wrong. Well, there is a wrong. Wrong is just aimlessly rolling about in your foam roller, okay, avoiding the painful areas. But again, you can see I'm rolling backwards and forwards on that isolated spot. Okay, I can go side to side. Ha! Yeah. My word, it's boiling. Good, and then again, I'll move my top foot off so you can see. Okay, I'm pushing down as hard as I can, but I'm keeping the leg relaxed, and now I can point the toes. I can lift the toes, and I can rotate the foot round. So again, there's no right or wrong. have a play around while holding that spot, okay? Because again, what that's doing is shortening and lengthening the muscle while you're holding on that pressure spot, so it's helping to break it all up. It's smashing it around on that foam roller. Please, everybody, I keep saying it, get the work done. Put the work into this stuff. You are literally wasting your time if you're just kind of 50% it. And you'll know you're 50% in it because you'll think, I could do more, but yeah, I'm not going to bother. Okay. That's not saying that anybody is. I just know that it's very easy to fall in to a comfort zone with this stuff where you're just kind of wincing around and not quite giving it too much. It needs to be uncomfortable. You need to get stuck into it. And again, I'm moving up a wee bit now, and I don't even need to move far before I find the next bit. So again, most of the problem area you'll probably find is on the lower part of the lower leg, below the major calf muscle. And you hold it, you push down into it, and you imagine that foam roller sinking into the muscle, and the muscle just collapsing around it, okay? Because we have to be relaxed. If the muscle isn't relaxed, you'll know it, because the foam roller will be right off the edge of it. It's not sinking in, it's getting pushed away from you. But then, on that note, another one of our techniques is what? Contract, relax, okay? So I'm holding this pressure spot, it's pretty nasty. Now it's going to get even nastier, because I'm going to tense the muscle, I'm going to relax it, and it's going to sink in further. Tense it, relax it, okay? So we're contracting and relaxing the muscle on that pressure spot. Good, so now it's feeling like, you know what, I could probably take a bit more, so now I'm going to bridge my hips off the ground, so now I'm getting all the weight on there, and it's horrendous, but I couldn't have done this to start with and stay relaxed. So that's what I mean by there's definitely an improvement, but I know there's a lot of work needing done here. So this half an hour class isn't going to solve the problem. It's going to help it. It's a good step towards it. Little and often is the best way though, okay? If you're one of those people that like to sit down and do a 30-minute mobility class, that's fine, okay? If you can do that, great. But for most of us, well, like, me included, okay? I put myself in that bracket. So it's good just to chuck this in. Find the problem area. Work on that problem area. Work on improving it. And you don't need to do much. You don't need to do much. You just have to spend a couple minutes of foam roll and you'll feel a huge difference. Look at the glutes when we done the glutes the other day. Okay, we literally done 2 minutes on each side and there was a big difference. If you'd done them properly, you should have felt the power difference when you squeezed the glutes. Same kind of thing, okay? Imagine how much better your body could perform if it was actually working the way it was meant to work, okay? Instead of just working around all these horrible issues we've got, okay, that we get used to, because our body is good at doing that. It's very good at doing that. Okay, good work on live. I'm seeing some pain faces, but try and relax them. Not because it's putting me off, but we're trying to stay relaxed, okay? Try to get away from, if you do that, try to then think, right, I'm going to relax my face, okay? Because again, we're just trying to relax. We don't want to associate pain with this, even though that is exactly what it is. Right, everybody, we're going to move on. As if I was never away. Right, we've foam rolled them, okay? So straight away, again, you get down into the depth of your squat, you should feel a difference. You should feel, you know what, I've opened up a bit of range there. It's feeling a little bit loose. Not quite as tight as it was, okay? So hopefully you can feel that difference. So now we've done the mobility work, we've helped break up that tissue, because that's what we're doing first. Now we're going to stretch it out, okay? Now we're going to stretch it. So it's a combination, like I say, mobility and flexibility go hand in hand. Flexibility is the muscle's ability to lengthen, okay, through a range, and mobility is the joint's ability to move through a range of movement. So we're going to throw in the flexibility side now of stretching out the muscle. So I'm going to use my bench. You're going to make sure you've got a shoe on or something rubber soled or something that's going to grip the wall, okay? And I'm going to show you. Pretty simple. Pretty damn simple. I'm using my bench. People with tight ankles, you're going to struggle to lift your toes high up. So you're going to end up doing something like this where your toes are basically getting stretched. That's no use, okay? So what I'll encourage everybody to do is lean back so that you can get your toes high up the wall and the heel nice and close to it. You need something that you can push into. Now I'm fortunate enough, this bench weighs a ton, plus the floor's rubber, so I can really push into this and it ain't going anywhere. Easiest thing for you to use is a wall, okay? And then making sure you've got something grippy on your feet. It's no good if you get socks. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that my knee is bending forwards, okay? So I'm trying to push my knee forward and then get up on top of this stretch while pushing my knee forwards, okay? The reason for that is, as I push my knee forwards, I'm going to bring the stretch focus down into the actual ankle area itself, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it pulling all down here on the tendons and everything as well, or at least you should. If I keep my knee locked out, I bring the stretch into the whole leg, okay? And I'm focusing more on the calf muscle here, which is not what I'm wanting in this instance. Because quite often or not, it's not really the calves that are the big issue, it's down in the joint itself, okay? So slight bend in the knee, and again, it's quite easy to half-arse this stuff. It's quite easy for me just to chill out and it's feeling like a wee bit of a stretch, this is all right. No, okay? We're trying to develop a greater range of movement, so that needs a bit of persuasion, okay? Which unfortunately means that there's going to be pretty much a high level of discomfort. No pain on this though. Okay, we should just have a high level of discomfort. We're stretching out those muscles to the max, and then we're going through the system that I've been teaching you all and on in these flexibility classes. Is you take it to the point you can't go any further, and then you just gradually go further and further and further for a 2-minute period. So I'm pushing the knee forwards, okay? I'm trying to get up on top of it. Now, if you're in a wall, that's fine, okay? If you're in at a wall and you can't go further forwards, you don't need to. The idea is I'm trying to get up nice and tall so that my body weight is going down. Yep, you can see that. This is quite good. Muggly Mug's cut off the camera, I think. Better for you, better for me. So I'm trying to get up nice and tall, nice and proud to get as much weight down, but then I'm trying to push the knee forward into the wall. So that's how we increase the stretch. So please, don't just hold the same bit for 2 minutes. Okay, you should be pushing it forward, focus on your breathing, and you should definitely, most certainly not be coming out of this stretch, okay? Yes, I saw it. People on live, you seem to forget, I see it all, right? So you're holding it, you're taking it further and further and further, and it's 2 minutes, okay? It needs to be at least 2 minutes. It's not enough just to hold it half-arse for 20 seconds, okay? So that's why it's important, before you commit to the stretch, you know your foot is anchored. And if your foot isn't anchored, you're not going to get the same stretch because you're not going to be able to add a lot of pressure to it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you now, this is the last 20 seconds, so this is where you're really going for it. I'm really pushing that knee forward, high level of discomfort, real good stretch I've got going here. Good. And I'm going to slowly ease out of that. Now, I would like you just to walk around. You don't need to walk everywhere. Just walk around, move that ankle, let the blood flow back into the joint, because again, it's all been stretched out. All those blood vessels will be restricted as well. We need to let the blood flow. So there might be a wee bit of, oh, feels a wee bit nasty. Right, we're going to change legs. Get into the next one. This is simple. How simple is this? Okay. And again, from experience, you get people in here, they come through the door, they do their stretches, and within a couple of weeks, their squats are phenomenal. And I'm always saying squats, okay? It's not all about squats. The reason I'm all about squats is because addressing any mobility or flexibility issues with squats, it makes people better at everything, okay? So that's why when people come in here, squats are the first thing I always work on. Work on building them to a back squat, because for a bar on your back and then to squat to depth, you demand good mobility and flexibility from your whole body. So it's a good assessment and it's a good way to track your progress, but don't throw yourself straight in. If you've got bad ankle mobility, do not put a weight on your back and try and squat to depth. You're just going to bugger yourself up, okay? Fix the ankle mobility. It does not take long, okay? It can literally take a week before you're squatting a lot better, if it's that bad. Couple of weeks and you don't even need any sort of assistance and you can be squatting to depth with a bar on your back. That's the difference. But people don't take this serious enough, okay? They moan their mobility's rubbish. They moan they can't do exercises. And here's the solution, everybody. I'm giving it to you on a plate, okay? It's right here. This is why I made this video for just ankles, because so many people need it. Everybody needs ankle work. But it's such a simple thing to do, okay? There's nothing complicated about that this morning, is there? And you can do it all from home. And like I say, this is a dedicated mobility class, so it is 30 minutes onwards. But it doesn't need to be that long, okay? Spend 2 minutes on each leg with your foam roller, 2 minutes on each leg with a good quality stretch like we're doing now, trying to increase the range. So again, final little bit here, everybody. Let's just take it as far as you can. So with stretching, we get our maintenance stretching, which is you taking it to the point you can and holding it there. That's you maintaining the flexibility and range of movement you've got. That's not enough. Okay, we're trying to develop. So we need to go that little bit further, that gentle persuasion, taking it outside its comfort zone and letting our brain know that, yep, it's all right to go this far before we start seizing up. Good. Right, I want you to relax. Relax there. Okay, and again, walk around. And again, the test is, shake it out. Once you feel the blood's flowing back in there, get your squats going. Are you hitting better depth than you were before? You should be, okay? Drive the toes into the ground. I'm not going to teach you how to squat just now, but drive those toes into the ground for stability. Squat down. Do you feel you're getting down better, okay? Sure thing, if your groin and everything's tight, we've not exactly loosened you off that way, but you should feel straight away you're getting down more. You should feel we've freed things up a bit more. Again, it depends on how bad things were before, but you should definitely feel an improvement. If you put a lot of work into that, you should feel a big improvement just from that, what we've done just now, okay? And it's not a case of you've now conquered ankle mobility. It's an ongoing battle, everybody, especially if you're out doing things like running or a lot of walking where your ankle is only working through a short range of movement, okay? It's not going the full hog. It tightens up into that short range of movement. That's what the problem is with people out running. They don't do their ankle mobility. Runners usually are the worst, again, from experience. They don't keep on top of their ankle mobility, and they're so tight. And again, their squats, not their squats, in general, if your ankles are tight, your squats are just going to look like this. What's happening? I'm not bending my knee anymore, so I'm not working my legs. All I'm doing here is falling forwards and working my lower back. Add weight to that. What the heck are you doing? Okay, you're just going to hurt yourself. So the incentive is, get your ankle mobility up, suddenly you'll be able to squat better, start actually working these big muscles the way they're meant to be worked, getting more out your exercise, and then on top of that, reducing your chance of injury. Ankles, get them done. Even if you think your ankle mobility is all right, get it done, it could be better. Most people need a lot of that. 2 minutes, foam roll, bookmark. Where did I get to? Right, I'll continue next time I do it. 2 minutes each leg, stretch, boom. You only need to do that once a day for a week and you'll see a huge difference. A huge difference. I can't even say it enough. Get it done. Nothing for it. We're finished, okay? Hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully, again, the people that need it most probably will never even see this, okay? So it doesn't matter. But thank you very much, and hopefully you got something from it. And hopefully you can feel that difference. And I can honestly say to you, if you don't feel any difference, any marked improvement just from what we've done, you've just sat in that foam roller and farted about, okay? It's about getting into it. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, but it has to be, okay? It shouldn't be, but that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for that place where we can roll on the foam roller and that muscle's all nice and supple. There's no pressure spots, but you know, we're a long way away from that, most of us. We have to start somewhere. So good work, thank you very much, and see you later.